The African Diaspora Sacred Music Program is a program that is housed at Cal State Dominguez Hills, one of the California State University campuses. Many of you have been on our campus, I know. And that is an umbrella program that has under it the Jubilee Choir that performs around the city area. It has the archive, and it has a number of community outreach activities that are connected. So we are both a research activity and a performance activity. And our mission is the preservation of the music and of African diaspora culture in Los Angeles, in Southern California, I should say. And not only the preservation of that, but also the preservation of the work of African diaspora musicians. And when I teach an Afro-American music class, as I have at Dominguez for 30-odd years, I always make the point that we're talking about music and musicians, both the work of musicians, which some of which can be identified as African diaspora genres that are connected with the African diaspora. So things such as spirituals and jazz and blues and ragtime, gospel music, the major genres that are known as African diaspora music, the music of, and we use the word diaspora because we're talking about wherever African people have gone, they have created a musical voice, and we are looking to perform that musical voice. And so the music of Africa, the music of the Caribbean, the music of composers of Anglo-African descent. So, of course, that includes people like Samuel Coleman Taylor, etc. And so we have that as a focus. But in addition to that, and not all African American musicians perform a music that is identified as African American music. Many African American musicians, you can find African American musicians that perform heavy metal. You can find African American musicians who perform psychedelic rock, right? You can find African American musicians who perform opera, who perform oratorio, who perform string quartets, who have composed oratorios and art songs and that whole range of repertoire. And so we look at African American music and African American musicians, and we want to celebrate both. And so that's what we do in our courses. It is what we do in our performance ensembles on the campus. It is what we do through presentation of ensembles that are not particularly directly connected with the campus, but guest ensembles that we bring onto the campus. And that is the theme that ties everything together. We were quite fortunate in having a kickoff funding opportunity that came to us through the Georgia and Nolan Payton Foundation. And I don't know if many of you know Georgia Payton, but Georgia was a long-time math teacher at Dorsey High School who loved spirituals and music and property. Real estate, okay, right. And through the development of her real estate interest, she was able to indulge some of her other activities and her other loves as she taught math at Dorsey High School. And upon her death, her daughter sought to celebrate her mother's love and her father's love. They were longtime members of Holiness Methodist Church, and so certainly knew of the spiritual through the work of that church. And so a gift was a continuing gift, has been given to Cal State Dominguez Hills to help support the work of our archive. And so that's why the archive carries the name of the Georgia and Nolan Payton Archive. In addition to that, however, we then used that as a basis from which we went to obtain funding from the National Endowment for the Humanities. And that National Endowment for the Humanities has allowed us to really launch a major oral history effort in two ways. One is that we have hired graduate students from Cal State Dominguez Hills who are going out into the community and working with individual musicians to record their memories. We also have community liaisons, some of whom are paid and some of whom started off being paid and then continued their work with the project because they love what they're doing. So we have community researchers and graduate student researchers who are working out in the community, preserving the memories, the musical memories of the community. And in addition to that, we've been holding forums out in the community from one church to another church, trying to document the long-time history. We started a couple of years ago at Wesley United Methodist Church. That was our first forum. And we've been at Bellevue Presbyterian, we've been at Hamilton United Methodist, we've been at New Hope Baptist, et cetera, et cetera. And this is the one that has, yeah, this is it. I'll give this out to you so you have the address, because we are so proud that one of the things that we're doing is transferring much of the data and information that we've obtained into digital format and placing it into what we're calling a digital archive.